to trigger in. Gets it to Moore. Moore will get it off. The shot is good. Game 3 belongs to Maya Moore and Minnesota.
No disrespect to Chicago, but we know we can play better.
We got to keep being relentless.
An epic battle goes to the Chicago sky.
In Kobe Bryant's words, like, job not finished.
That's the beauty of a 5-game series. We're ready to go.
Be super tough. Be intense.
Williams got it.
I can't help I was born like this.
I want to play another game right now.
Now you gotta watch. Win, win, win.
We welcome you to ESPN's coverage of the WNBA playoffs presented by Google. Tonight at Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut, it's Game 2 of this best-of-5 semifinal series. The Chicago Sky behind Courtney Vandersloot taking a 1-0 series lead. Candace Parker, a big performance as well. How will Jonquel Jones and the Connecticut Sun respond? You take a look at our playoff brackets. The Aces taking Game 1 against the Mercury. Game 2 of that best-of-5 semifinal series coming up at the conclusion of this game. We welcome you courtside. Hey, everybody, Ryan Rucco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. So happy to be with you for this Game 2 of the semifinals. Rebecca, so many epic things happen in that classic double overtime Game 1, but Courtney Vandersloot with a historic performance for Chicago.
An incredible performance by Courtney Vandersloot. Her coach James Wade said it was one of the best point guard performances he has ever seen. Her decision-making was phenomenal. She knew when to go in and look for her own shot, when to pass. Important that she could get on the defensive boards and then push pace the other way. And her ability to find her teammates was unmatched in that game. Just a spectacular performance, an incredible command of the game.
And everybody got love from Courtney Vandersloot. You take a look at the way her playoff record, 18 assists were distributed. Meanwhile, for the Connecticut Sun, it's about everybody else keeping up with the Joneses.
There wasn't much more their front court could do. They performed, and they did it in an efficient fashion. Now it's up to the rest of the team to raise their level, in particular the backcourt. I expect Jasmine Thomas and DeWanna Bonner to have bounce-back games here today.
In Game 1 for Chicago, it wasn't just Courtney Vandersloot, but Candace Parker, who also starred for the Sky, Holly Rowe.
That's right. Candace Parker has been terrific in these playoffs. 22 points in that double overtime game. But in her 14th year in the league, Candace has been pretty open about how difficult it can be in back-to-back games. This is her 4th game in 8 days, so she dedicated herself yesterday to nothing but recovery. Look at the effort she put into getting her body right after 39 minutes of action. I have no doubt Candace is going to lay it on the line. And James Wade, when we asked him, will he reduce her minutes tonight? He said, no way. This is a single elimination game.
4 hot showers, will it do the trick for Candace Parker? Game 2 of this best-of-5 semifinal series is underway as Connecticut wins the tip. Let's go, Sun! Jasmine Thomas has it knocked away, trying to enter it into Brianna Jones, and it'll stay with Connecticut.
Is trying to establish Brianna Jones early. She was one of the best players on the floor in Game 1. Able to bury her defender in the paint.
At 22 points, a 9 of 16 shooting, and that was deflected. Going to stay here again. You know, Holly brought up the point, James Wade saying this is a single elimination game. It was very interesting hearing him talk about tonight. You know, sometimes coaches will say that, but he was doing a lot of manifesting, saying this is the only game. There are no other games. Like in every interaction, really focusing on his team, not getting complacent with winning Game 1 on the road.
But sometimes your body is your body, and so it's going to be interesting. Their 4th game in 8 days, if he's going to have to manage those minutes slightly differently.
The officials waiting to get the clock right here. Eric Bruton, Billy Smith, Amy Bonner are officials tonight. Jeffrey Smith, the alternate, in case you're keeping score at home. Here's Thomas, the pull-up from the elbow, no good, and the rebound secured by Stevens. We're talking to Kurt Miller. One of the things he talked about when it comes to his backcourt is making sure, and he said for the team at large, not trying to do too much. He said, we need to stay inside of ourselves. We saw Jasmine Thomas calling her own number there, 1 of 8 in Game 1. There the leaner goes in. Beautiful delivery, and Azurá Stevens finishes on the run.
And Chicago does that so well. When the basketball is on one side of the floor, the 45-degree angle cut from the opposite side.
Bree Jones bodying into Parker, finds the cutter in Jonquel as she gets fouled. And Jonquel Jones is going to shoot two.
Jonquel doing a good job being active and getting into the paint. And was that a first foul on Courtney Vandersloot?
Yes, it was. Significant, obviously. Vandersloot, perhaps the most key player for Chicago to keep on the floor as much as possible. And meanwhile, from Jones, Rebecca, we saw a really strong start to game one for the MVP, but a quiet finish for Jones. Had 22 points, 11 rebounds through the first three quarters, just 4 points and no rebounds in the fourth quarter and 2 overtimes. And after 2 missed free throws there, Parker takes advantage.
Great sign for Chicago. They want to get up and down the floor. They want to push pace, get buckets in transition. That's where they thrive.
Thomas forces it in. Jones able to grab it, but had nothing there. A little bit of a force there. And here comes Parker. No look underneath to Stevens, who lays it in. Gorgeous decision by Candace Parker, and Kurt Miller needs a timeout. A 6-0 start to game 2 for Chicago.
Candace Parker is one of those big players with the ability to lead the break. Head up. Jonquel Jones still behind her, so she finds her matchup. There's 2 for Stevens.
ESPN's coverage of the WNBA playoffs is presented by Google, official WNBA changemaker and proud advocate of women in sports. And in part by Taco Bell. And AT&T 5G, fast, reliable, and secure.
Well, in case you missed it yesterday, Jonquel Jones named the 2021 WNBA MVP. And for a young woman from the Bahamas, she said she made history, becoming the first ever from that island to become an MVP. And she said everyone at home is excited.
I think I'm the first ever MVP from the Bahamas, yeah. It means a lot. The people are proud. I got a little email from like the office of the Prime Minister yesterday, so I'm pretty sure they want to try to do something. So it's a lot going on, but can't really focus on it too much, but it's exciting. It definitely is exciting.
She said she grew.
It's going to be really important for Connecticut, for Jonquel Jones to have a big performance here today. She has led them all season long on the offensive end and also clearing up the defensive glass.
Well, Jonquel Jones gets the inbound here. Jones spins, can't finish. Stevens the rebound. Holly, Jonquel has always been this warm, effervescent presence, and we have just seen her game continue to ascend.
That's right. You know, she grew up on the island, and she said, I would go to games with my dad. My dad, Preston, was a really good player, and I remember sitting in the stands and thinking, this is awesome. He was a bit of a bruiser, as we see a nice 3 there, but she said, I really remember that feeling, being in the gym with my father, and to be able to call him and tell him I'm the MVP, it meant everything.
Well, Jonquel Jones' team right now in a 9-0 hole. You see Jonquel, the first player ever to win Most Improved, 6th Woman of the Year, and MVP. But a 9-0 lead for the Sky. And Candace Parker looking spry despite the heavy load a couple nights ago.
And Connecticut was the best team in the league defensively all season long. But right now, Chicago's been much more disruptive defensively. Connecticut has not found any flow on the offensive end, whereas for Chicago, things have looked easy for them.
Jonquel Jones draws 2, didn't pass out of it to Thomas, who was open. Now the shot clock down to 7. Bonner lobbing it up. Jones waiting, couldn't finish. Good help D there from Chicago, swarming D. And Parker comes away with it for the Sky. Here is Parker, got a little too tricky, and Jones was there to bat it away. Jonquel into the arms of Brianna. Now Thomas, the pocket pass to Jonquel, couldn't get to it. Another Connecticut turnover. Vandersloot eyes up, finds Dolson. Parker, another 3. Not that time. Dolson, the offensive rebound, gets swatted but fouled by Bree Jones. And free throws coming for Stephanie Dolson.
Now, Connecticut in game 1 had 17 offensive rebounds, and so we've already seen when Connecticut's put a shot up, Chicago has 5 players in the paint, so they can corral the D board and try to push the other way. And now Dolson herself with an offensive board on this end.
See Alyssa Thomas getting ready to check in here for Connecticut. We talked to Kurt Miller earlier today about what he could expect from his star playing just her 4th game back from an Achilles injury. He said bringing energy. He also said he thinks the minutes restriction is being elevated significantly and could be altogether lifted. So perhaps Connecticut can get a lot more from Alyssa Thomas.
Connecticut right now looking for an energy answer. And they also have Beatrice Montpremier in the game, notable because she did not play at all in game 1.
What are they looking for from Montpremier here?
A defensive presence, some shot blocking, something on the interior, and maybe more than anything, an opportunity for Bree Jones and Jonquil Jones to catch their breath, settle down, and to, you know, just settle into the game.
Yeah, they are both on the bench right now. Jonquil and Brianna Jones. Here's Alyssa Thomas bodying in, flipping up, no. Rebound, push towards the baseline and grabbed by Dolson.
The start of this game could not have gone any better for the Chicago Sky.
It could not look any sloppier for the Connecticut Sun. Here is Vandersloot stopping on a dime out to Parker. Kalia Copper to the reverse, couldn't spin it in. And here comes Bonner. An 11-0 start for Chicago, matches the biggest lead they had in game 1. Good movement here. January on a 3, and by far the best looking possession we've seen from Connecticut.
Crisp ball movement, working the defense, getting an open look.
Copper had it poked away by Thomas. Thomas trying to stay with Copper. Able to whirl her way around Thomas for 2.
Oh, she is just so quick and powerful when she puts the ball on the floor, attacking the rim.
Here's Jasmine Thomas on the drive, laying it home. After many frenetic possessions to start the game for Connecticut, back-to-back good-looking ones as Vandersloot can't spin it in, but does get fouled and will go to the line to shoot a pair.
She's so good navigating the pick and roll. Steph Dolson sets a screen for her, and it's not a burst of speed off of the screen. Sloot just assesses. She takes a couple dribbles, looks around and see what she has. Comes off the screen, what do I got? All right, I can explode to the rim. Just makes the right decision more often than not.
Let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA playoff schedule. Next on ESPN2, Game 2 between Phoenix and Las Vegas. Then Sunday, both Game 3s on ESPN. It'll be Connecticut Chicago at 1 Eastern. On ABC, it'll be Vegas at Phoenix, 3 Eastern. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. How about observations from you in Game 1 of that series?
The backcourt for Vegas was just phenomenal. Laquana Williams came out of the gate just scoring. You see Alyssa Thomas rolling to the basket. Kelsey Plum off the bench was phenomenal. Chelsea Gray as well.
Here's Kalia Copper. Oh, nice crossover. Copper couldn't quite serve it home. And now Heidemann up the floor. Copper dashing back. Heidemann enters. Montpremier finishes.
Nice job by Beatrice Montpremier. It's not easy to come into a game when you didn't play in the prior one. Nice pump fake and use of the dribble.
A 15-7 lead for Chicago. Game 2 of this best-of-5 semifinal series. Quigley step back, short. Montpremier the rebound. Chance for Connecticut to creep a little closer. Alyssa Thomas. Montpremier, center of the paint. Jasmine will fire, and hit from 3. Kurt Miller emphasized to us today what a big-time threat Jasmine Thomas is off the catch and shoot. Wanted to get her more opportunities like that from 3 in this game. Gets one there to cut it to 5.
And she really struggled in game 1. 1 of 9, only 0 for 4 from the three-point line. That has to do a lot for her confidence.
Here's Quigley, under 5 to shoot. Copper will fire. Can't hit. Here comes Connecticut. They've shaved an 11-point deficit down to 5. Bonner the pull-up. Too strong. Dolson will tee it up and knock it down from 3.
Better start for Stephanie Dolson in this game. She was a little bit rocky at the beginning of game 1. Very good, though, at the end of it.
5 points in 4 minutes already for Dolson. Alyssa Thomas, no. The follow denied by Dolson. Thomas gets it back, forces it up again, and gets a whistle. Stephanie Dolson, Parker, and Vandersloot all upset. And you can see Stephanie Dolson saying, look at my face. And now a technical foul is called.
One thing with Alyssa Thomas is she is relentless, and she's going to continue to go after you. She's going to force the contact. She was frustrated that she didn't get it on the first one.
And the technical foul is called, I believe, against Alyssa Thomas.
Yes. She's saying to the official, call the first one, call the first one. I think you let that one go, Ryan, honestly. There's a lot of emotions in this game. I don't think there was a curse used. But I like it. It's playoff basketball.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, Alyssa Thomas has been one of the best playoff performers in the WNBA over the last couple of seasons. Just absolutely fantastic when Connecticut went on that run to the finals in 2019, where she played almost every single minute of the finals. And her playoff career has averaged 17 points, 8.5 rebounds, 5 assists on 53% shooting. You know, one thing we've seen, though, from Alyssa, you pointed out in game 1, partner, is just the finishing has not quite seemed right for Alyssa Thomas. That's the one area where she still, you know, has looked rusty, understandably so.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's absolutely incredible as Chicago goes over and back, and it's going to be Connecticut basketball. And actually, Kurt Miller made that point to us, Holly, earlier this year. He said, you know, if there was one player who could possibly come back in time for this season to make an impact from an injury, it's Alyssa Thomas.
Yeah, it's just her touch. That's the part of her game that's missing right now, is her touch around the rim.
Heidemann, Montpremier, Alyssa Thomas, Jasmine Thomas, Kyla Charles on the floor for Connecticut. Heidemann all the way in, lays it home.
I give Kurt Miller a ton of credit for the faith and belief he's had in his bench. This is not a team that has used their bench a lot of minutes throughout the course of the season. He knew he needed more energy, and he's gotten those players in, and they've provided it.
And this wasn't just a quick send Jonquel and Brianna to the bench for a minute. No, they remained on the bench in this first as Alyssa Thomas fouls Duval, and Duval will shoot 2.
James Wade also got really good minutes out of his bench in game 1. Duval was very good coming in. Steph Dolson was as well. Diamond DeShields had her moments.
9, 9, and 9 for Duval, DeShields, and Dolson in that game 1. I mean, Rebecca, just how about the decision here from Kurt Miller to keep Jonquel Jones, Brianna Jones on the bench for this long a period of time in the first quarter? That can't be easy for a head coach to do.
Yeah, well, his other players, it's been working, and they're on a bit of a stretch, and it also helps you save the legs a bit of your starting bigs.
Here's Heidemann around the screen from Alyssa Thomas. Jasmine will fire, and it's hit again. Already 2 catch-and-shoot threes for Jasmine Thomas. Such a point of emphasis from Kurt Miller to us before the game today.
It's going to be huge because that will give your bigs more space inside if you can make the defense come out on the perimeter shooters. And just right here, she's ready for it. And credit Natisha Heidemann because her dribble penetration draws Thomas's defender one more step and gives her the time to hit that shot.
Brianna Jones in for Beatrice Montpremier now. Evans swooping through, kicking out. Duvall off on a three. Brianna Jones battling for the board and winning it for Connecticut. Here is Heidemann. Weaving, dipping, got fouled by Dolson. That'll be the second on Stephanie Dolson, 4th team foul on Chicago. And we'll see if they say whether or not Heidemann was shooting here. Looked like a side out of bounds, probably. Heidemann's now going to the line. The officials are saying, no, no, no. And Kurt Miller is saying, no, she was shooting. But
she goes up.
Yeah, she was passing.
But was she passing because she got bumped? No, I agree with you. She was passing.
Yeah. Well, in that case, right, just fling it towards the rim once you are bumped.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
A psychological overturn.
Jedi mind trick right there, right?
Oh, very nice. You know I love it when you make Star Wars references. Heidemann misses the free throw.
1 for 5. Connecticut's 1 for 5 from the free throw line.
That was something as Jonquel Jones checks back in. That was something Kurt Miller talked to us about today as well, feeling like his team, you know, left a little out there at the free throw line. In game 1, they were 22 of 31.
Talk about self-inflicted wounds.
And that's why he didn't think his team would be too shaken as Alyssa Thomas goes to the bench. He said, we really focused on, hey, there were things we just have to control ourselves that we didn't in game 1. After an 11-0 start for Chicago, Connecticut has settled back in. Here's Duvall throwing it away. And, ooh, hey now, a deflection is going to keep it here with Chicago. Not much of a verbal contest from Connecticut, so somebody must know they touched it.
Either that or it was one of those ones where it was a foul, but instead of calling the foul, we're going to give you the ball.
Shot clock fading. Evans can't get it to go. Got it on the rim, and that gives Chicago another chance here.
Great pursuit by Diamond DeShields.
DeShields works around the hedge from Brianna Jones. DeShields can't finish. Here comes Thomas. Off to a strong start here in game 2 on her birthday. Jonquel draws 2, looking for help. Heidemann dancing. Bree Jones spinning, bodying, and finishing.
Great footwork, but again, that was initiated by Natisha Heidemann, her ability to get space off dribble penetration.
It's a 2-point game. Shot clock down to 6. Dolson a 3, short, rebound Charles. Connecticut can pull even here or hop in front. Heidemann a 3, no. 2 for 1 here for Connecticut if they get it up in a hurry. Nice find, Jasmine Thomas to Bree Jones, and it's tied at 21. An 8-0 Connecticut run. DeShields gets blocked by Jones. Jonquel on the rejection. 5 to shoot. 3-second difference game in shot clock. Copper able to cup it in through traffic.
How good has Kalia Copper been so far in this first quarter?
Thomas short, and that'll do it for the first. But after Connecticut fell in an 11-0 hole, the Sun trailed by just 2 after 1.
This is a different version of Jasmine Thomas than we saw in game 1, but it's a very similar version of Brianna Jones. Look at a big girl finish.
Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the WNBA playoffs presented by Google. And Steph, you guys got out to such a great start, but what does it do as a gut punch that they're right back in this first quarter with you?
I mean, we knew it wasn't going to be an easy game. They're the #1 team in the league. I'm just happy that our starters started us off like that. The bench, we have to be better. You know, we have to take care of the ball, get better shots, and get stops.
All right, I just had to pull you out of the huddle. You had a lot of things to say right now. What was the message you're delivering to your team?
Just our defense. We got to be stronger. You know, Allie's saying we got to hedge, which sometimes we're in position, sometimes we're not, but we got to help each other, and we just got to be there to box each other, box them out, and help each other rebound.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chicago started out doing a terrific job on the glass, and since then, Connecticut with 3 offensive rebounds. Chicago has to limit them to 1 shot.
DeShields hits the 3. Nope, they'll call it a long 2 for Diamond DeShields. Chicago started 4 of 4 from the floor, then went 3 of 12 to end the quarter. A 4-point lead here after an 11-0 start to the game as Bonner hits the baseline J.
One thing to keep an eye on with this lineup for Connecticut, Natisha Heidemann is a dangerous scorer, and she's very good off the bounce. She is not nearly the defender Breon January is. Not many are.
So watch Vandersloot on her.
Yes.
Here's Vandersloot. Out to Parker. Oh, nice hands there from Jonquel Jones. Disrupting 3-on-2. Heidemann to Jones. That's going to be a charge as Vandersloot took the contact. And Connecticut will turn it over as Jonquel's helped to her feet.
It's not easy, in particular for a guard, when you see this big coming at you, to step in there like she did and her body completely exposed, arms in the air to take that charge. That's toughness.
6'6" on 5'8".
It's an assault.
Yeah. Here's Vandersloot kicking out. Duvall. No. Heidemann getting extended run here in this first half. Bonner, pull up. Got fouled. Joanna Bonner is going to shoot a pair.
Tawana Bonner with 13 points in game 1, but was only 5 of 17. Kurt Miller talking about how he needs his players to be more efficient in this game.
A fresh new look, a whole new feel, and a brand new app. Download the new WNBA app to connect with other fans live during the playoffs with new interactive features available throughout the season.
They're not claiming 2 taps anymore? They've
Nope.
adjusted?
It's just a whole new feel.
I do like the brand new app.
Me too.
It's the same app we've had all season, though. It was just brand new at the beginning of the season, right?
You can tap it as often as you want.
As often as you want.
Tied at 25. DeShields catch fire and hit from 3.
Do you know how difficult the pass is that Courtney Vandersloot made to her? Coming to her right side, all the way across into the corner. Knows DeShields recently hit a deep shot.
Well, guys, oddly enough, when Courtney Vandersloot first got to Gonzaga, her coach at the time, Kelly Graves, told her he didn't think she was a very good passer. She said that really pricked her, and she was like, okay, I'm going to work on it. And she really thinks that was the time she became an excellent passer. Part of it's feel, part of it's instinct, but him telling her she wasn't good to start her college career, she's proven him wrong.
I know Kelly feels differently now. As Quigley finishes.
In what Sloot can do on the court, and a lot of things that she can do, you can't teach. It's just vision and feel. A lot of players want to be good passers and just aren't capable of it.
Courtney Vandersloot, just the second playoff triple-double in WNBA history in game 1. Cheryl Swoops the other. The foul here, I believe, is going to go against Stevens. And that'll be her second.
Asha, she's coming over to the right side. And for her to see DeShields in the left corner is one thing, but then to be able to deliver when her momentum is going the other way, next level.
She talked about, too, playing with more speed, being more aggressive, something James Wade really emphasized to her heading into the playoffs. As Bonner bunnies it in. Bonner 2 for 3 from the floor to start this game. Vandersloot, back to Stevens. Vandersloot to pull up, off the mark, and Connecticut can jump in front. They have not led yet in this first half. Jones gives it up. Brianna Jones all alone, and the Sun take the lead.
If you are going to hedge hard or double on a screen, you have to have backside rotation. There was no one there for Jones.
Quigley knocks down a triple. Quigley 6 points in her 10 minutes. Deep catch. Charles gets swatted from behind. Diamond DeShields leaping back for the rejection.
She's playing volleyball. That'd be a kill right there. And Kyla Charles gets inside and Sloot's in a little bit of trouble, but there's her help. Diamond DeShields coming from the backside.
Breon January finally back onto the floor for Connecticut. Has played just 4 minutes thus far in this first half. Bonner spinning and finishing. It has been a much more efficient DeWanna Bonner thus far.
Without question.
Vandersloot zipping into the paint, lays it in, and Heidemann might have taken a gut punch there from Vandersloot.
That's the pace. That's the pace for Chicago. They just want to go as fast as they can, especially when Sloot has the ball.
Careless turnover there. Chicago trying to turn it into points. Heidemann got it from behind and was able to disrupt Copper. Now a chance for Connecticut. Vandersloot got a hand on it. And now the Sun will settle it. Bonner will pull. No. And a whistle. It's going to stay here. Loose ball foul on Chicago. Hey, coming up next, it's going to be Phoenix and Vegas. Diana Taurasi, yes, she's playing through that foot injury. Most career playoff points all time. It is time for our most searched, presented by Google. WNBA Commissioner's Cup was the 12th most searched trend from the regular season. The inaugural Commissioner's Cup happened August 12th. Brianna Stewart had 15 first quarter points. Jewel Lloyd poured in 16. Seattle had a 28-point lead at the half over Connecticut. And the Storm players went on to win the $30K per player purse. Sun players walked away with $10K per player. And Brianna Stewart, $5,000 for the MVP award of that game in the inaugural Commissioner's Cup. And that was the last time Connecticut had lost any sort of game until game 1.
Am I the only one who's now wondering what number 1 through 11 most searched are?
Well, you know what the good thing is? I hear Google sticking around for the playoffs, so my guess is you'll find out. Jasmine Thomas, oh, she is off to a much different start tonight. Has that birthday energy. And now a steal. January lays it in.
I like this by Connecticut. I like them picking up full court, trying to slow Chicago down in the backcourt, knowing they want to get up the floor quickly.
A 2-point Connecticut lead. Game 2 of this best-of-5 semifinals. Game 3 Sunday in Chicago. Shot clock down to 3. Copper has it knocked away by Alyssa Thomas, and a shot clock violation as Connecticut comes up with another stop. And it was interesting, Rebecca, talking to Kurt Miller, he talked about in game 1, Connecticut's inability to congest Chicago, how his team relies upon its defense. Some good defense here over these last few possessions from the Sun. And
it started by picking up full court. Chicago was not able to get dribble penetration. They were not able to get the ball zinging around the perimeter when they can then get cuts on the weak side.
6th turnover for Chicago. Jasmine Thomas lobs it in, a little too ambitious. Parker knocked it away. Here comes Copper. DeShields steps into a 3, not that time. Quigley getting ready to check back in for Chicago. That's going to be a foul on DeShields as her and Bonner got physical.
You know how you don't want to foul somebody? With your chin. Poor Diamond DeShields takes the brunt of that on her chin, but the reach is the reason she gets the foul called.
Now that's the second on DeShields, 2 on Dolson, and the foul just before the break went on Azrae Stevens, her 3rd. So some foul trouble to look out for Chicago. Connecticut now in the bonus moving forward. Thomas again hits the jumper. 12 points for Jasmine Thomas. She's 5 of 6 from the floor.
What a noticeable contrast for Jasmine Thomas from game 1. Kurt Miller told us in the playoffs, she typically has one really big game at least per series.
Yeah, we've seen her have those 25-point games. Copper, and a foul's called on Alyssa Thomas, who already has 1 technical. She'll have to be a little careful here.
She's done a really good job, though, reading and being in help side. And to Stephanie Dolson, one of the best passing bigs in the W. Oh.
Yeah,
that's not a
sure
good
there's
call.
Anything there at all.
That's a no call.
Second foul on Alyssa Thomas. And Copper hits the first. Alyssa Thomas has played 7 minutes thus far in this first half. 0 for 4 from the floor. Has continued to bring that energy and defensive intensity. As Copper hits both.
Candace Park's like, all right, 2 can play that game. You're gonna pick us up full, I'll pick you up full.
I took 4 hot showers yesterday. I can guard 94 feet. And a foul on Dolson. That will be her 3rd. It's also going to put January at the line with Connecticut in the bonus.
Stephanie Dolson was one of the best defenders in game 1 on Brianna Jones. Here she picks up her 3rd. This could be big.
On the WNBA Halftime Report presented by State Farm, we're jumping into this game and previewing our next one. And Coach Peck, really quickly before we go back to site, what's your thought on this game?
Jasmine Thomas, welcome to the party.
Okay! Wow, guys, we did that so efficiently. We left time for you to take advantage of, Rebecca and Ryan. We're enjoying the call.
We'll be sure to take advantage of that. That was efficient. And you know what? Yes, that's been the biggest difference here in game 2, what Coach Beck just said. Jasmine Thomas, it's night and day compared to the performance in game 1.
Yeah, she's got a totally different look on her face on the offensive end of the floor. And can I just say, the only thing that comes close to being as entertaining as this game is before those guys came on air, being able to listen into studio. I'm looking forward to halftime.
That's right. We get a preview of what's going on off the air.
They're having too much fun in there. They're celebrating Jazz Thomas's birthday as well.
That's right. January hits the 2nd. Another missed free throw, though, for Connecticut. They're just 5 of 10 from the line. Meanwhile, Chicago's 9 for 9. Here's Quigley. Off on a 3. Alyssa Thomas flies in for the rebound. Jonquel Jones on the bench still right now for Connecticut. She has not scored yet in this game, and yet the Sun lead by 3 despite no points from the MVP as Bonner just airmails it out of bounds. See Jonquel. You look back at the start of this game, you got to give Kurt Miller a lot of credit for going to his bench the way that he did, putting Bree Jones and Jonquel Jones on the bench as early as he did. As Bonner comes up with a steal off the deflection. January backs it out. Foul on Parker. She'll shoot 2. We'll check in with Holly.
Well, guys, I've been trying to keep a really close eye on Jonquel Jones over here on the bench, wondering if something could be wrong for her. She's been pounding the Gatorade, trying to catch her breath. I don't think anything's wrong. It's just getting that energy here in this game as I've watched her here on the bench.
Yeah, it is interesting, Holly, because, I mean, rare would you see the MVP on the bench as often as Jonquel has been this first half, and without a point and with just 1 rebound.
Yeah, you wonder if there might be something going on, but we got Holly, the eye of a spy right over there by the end of the Connecticut bench. If there is something going on, she'll know pretty soon.
Another missed free throw. This has been remarkable, and it was a problem in game 1. It's been more of a problem tonight for Kurt Miller's team. 6 for 12 from the line. Vandersloot off the leg of Alyssa Thomas. 7 to shoot here for Chicago. Vandersloot with 2 assists in this first half after 18 in game 1. And Vandersloot chucks it out of bounds. And Candace Parker says, hey, that's on me.
If Candace Parker was a little more aware, she would have caught that ball because Sloot threw it right where she could get it.
8th turnover on Chicago. January jumper is good. Breon January with 9 points in this first half. And what a difference the offense from the backcourt of Connecticut here in game 2. Sloot calls her own number, and that's why.
She does that so well. Not only pushing the pace bound, but knowing when's the right time for her to look for hers.
About January and Jasmine Thomas, 21 points on 8 of 10 shooting here in the first half of game 2. As Connecticut turns it over again. I mean, just a dramatic difference from what we saw from them in game 1, where Thomas and January for the game combined to go 3 for 15 from the floor and score just 14 points total. Travel. Diamond to Shields walks. 9th turnover from Chicago.
We talked about it earlier, how good Chicago is when they change sides of the floor and they get cutters flashing through the lane and just really zing the ball around the perimeter. We haven't seen that nearly as much, Ryan, here in the second quarter. Credit Connecticut's defense.
Yeah, they had 31 assists in game 1. They have just 9 so far tonight. Alyssa Thomas finishes off the delivery from Jasmine, and Connecticut's lead is now 6. After Chicago started this game 11-0. And an offensive foul going the other way.
Breon January just played incredible defense on Courtney Vandersloot. And one of the reasons Chicago hasn't been able to zing the ball around as much is because, look at her denying Sloot, not giving it back to her,
Oh, yeah.
And then Sloot grabs her on the arm and goes by, but it's been disruptive, not allowing the quick ball movement.
Connecticut not going to try and rush into a 2-for-1 here. About a 10-second difference, game or shot clock. January kicks. Jasmine Thomas short. Rebound, flag down by Jasmine, and now she'll wisely let some more clock run. This 6-point lead, the largest Connecticut has had in either game 1 or 2. 3 to shoot. Jasmine running in, can't lay it home, and a shot clock violation. Looked like it should have been. Did that catch rim? I don't believe it did. And instead, it's a jump ball. Let's see if this caught rim. Well, no. Should have been a shot clock violation. Instead of Chicago having a few seconds to operate here in the final possession, it's a jump ball with 0.8 of a second left. And that'll do it. Or will it? Nope. The officials are going to say, stay right there. I believe they're going to re-jump it here. And now they will say the half is over.
They're trying to delay the fun of our halftime show.
Nothing like the halftime hezzy. Don't worry, Monica, Renee, and Carolyn are ready. How about the first half? The backcourt of Connecticut stepping up.
Completely different from game 1. Breon January has looked for her offense, and the birthday girl, Jasmine Thomas, celebrating in that first half.
ESPN's coverage of the WNBA playoffs is presented by Google, official WNBA changemaker and proud advocate of women in sports. And in part by American Express. See what you can expect when you're with Amex Platinum.
In Connecticut, getting ready for the start of the second half, game 2 of this best-of-5 semifinal series. The Sun with a 6-point lead over the Sky with a 1-0 series edge. Welcome you courtside again. Ryan Rucco alongside the Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo. Got off to a tough start for Connecticut, an 11-0 hole, but they were able to dig out of it thanks in large parts of the play from Jasmine Thomas as we take a look at our unbelievable play of the game brought to you by Oculus from Facebook.
You can't give Jasmine Thomas enough credit on her birthday for the bounce back that she's had, because she struggled mightily in game 1, and she certainly has come to play here on the offensive end in game 2. She's been really good from the three-point line. Part of that is her time on the floor with Natisha Heidemann, where instead of just being the creator, she could be the recipient of some passes and get some good looks.
Big difference tonight compared to game 1 for Jasmine Thomas. Same could be said for Jonquel Jones. For more on that, we check in with Holly.
Well, guys, Jonquel Jones played just 9 minutes and 49 seconds in that first half. That's pretty crazy for the MVP. She was also scoreless with 1 rebound. I checked in with the coaching staff at the half and said, is Jonquel okay? Anything wrong with her? They said, nope. She should be good to go. She's got to find her energy here to start this game.
Thank you very much, Holly. Nice set to begin the third quarter for Chicago as Copper buries the triple.
Well, Connecticut defensively, their philosophy is to load up the middle and congest. And the Sky have been really good a few times this game at drawing the defense to the right side of the floor and finding the left.
Bonner short, Copper the rebound. Here's Vandersloot. Tried to needle it in to Parker, unable to handle. One thing to watch for Chicago, too, is we saw Copper hit that 3. She's the kind of player who can score in bunches in a hurry for the Sky. We haven't seen it yet in this series, but she's always capable. Jones couldn't finish. Good D there from Azare Stevens and Parker. Stevens playing with 3 fouls. Parker all the way in, couldn't finish it. Bree Jones was able to guide it over to DeWanna Bonner. No, out of bounds. Chicago basketball. Now in that second quarter, Azare Stevens picked up her 3rd foul with 5:10 left, and Chicago was leading by 2. Connecticut outscored the Sky 12-4 after Stevens picked up that foul the rest of the way into halftime.
Yeah, she was efficient offensively, and she was able to get on the glass.
Under 5 to shoot. Stevens in for 2. Right on cue with a nice handle to the cup.
And that's her advantage, when she catches the ball on the perimeter against Brianna Jones and can take her with her quickness.
Jasmine Thomas, the only player in this game who scored in double figures thus far. Force inside there from Bonner, and predictably stolen. Here's Copper, held up by Brianna Jones, and we're going to have a held ball here. And a jump between Bree Jones and Kalia Copper.
Bree Jones got really nice hands defensively when she's out on the perimeter. We saw her with a huge steal. Is it the end of regulation or which overtime in game 1?
End of the first overtime.
First overtime. And then nice hands there to force this jump ball.
You know, interesting, Rebecca, just to watch how the Connecticut starters play to begin this quarter, given that Chicago scored the first 5 points of the third, and they scored the first 11 points of the game. And then we didn't see this group of 5 back on the floor together, really, for the rest of the quarter. For the rest of the half, it was different combos from Kurt Miller.
Did you just see how high Kalia Copper got up to win that jump ball?
Impressive. Stevens got it off, but couldn't finish it. Here's Jasmine Thomas trying to wiggle her way through traffic to no avail. And if you like jump balls, you've come to the right place. Jasmine Thomas and Parker now. No one wants to give it up.
This is my favorite arena to witness jump balls, and this is the reason why. They play a different song.
Every time?
Every time. Some arenas, they just play one throughout.
All right, so let's see what are we going to get here.
The DJ's disappointing me right now. Oh, there we go. Typically, they play a different song.
Yeah.
Jump ball.
All right. Yeah, I'm not sure this is normally what you hear with the jump ball.
Not normally.
Boy, you know you've been around the league a long time when you have nuanced observations like that. Copper doesn't get the 3 to rim in.
Jonquil a little bit more deliberate on the defensive boards here.
Jasmine Thomas gives it up to January. Bree Jones muscling in, help comes, foul does too. And Parker's hit with the personal. Second on Candace Parker.
I feel for her because she's trying to go straight up. Jones is just so good at creating that contact. Candace Parker here just moving her feet, moving her feet. Her arm came down just a bit on Jones' arm.
You know, we were talking with Stephanie Dolson earlier today about guarding Brianna Jones, and she said she is just so strong. She said she's just like a shorter Sylvia Fowles. That's how strong she feels in the post.
Oh, look at her frame. We'll use Holly Rowe's favorite descriptive for a strong professional athlete. She's strapping.
Holly nodded in agreement that yes, that is her favorite. Vandersloot lost the handle for a second. Parker thought about it, no. 5 to shoot. Stevens in the corner, too long on a 3. Weak side board, Bonner looking to push. Bonner races up the floor, the pull-up, off the mark. Connecticut a plus 5 on the glass thus far as Stevens too strong on that 3. Bonner down, now gets to her feet, 4-on-4 for the moment. Back to 5-on-5. Bree Jones spinning in on Stevens, couldn't finish it. Nice job by Stevens playing with 3 fouls. Quigley got a little space. Parker wants it on Bonner. Parker able to finish. Love the matchup there in the post.
Especially when she had Bonner on her back and she had a foot in the paint. So she knew it was time to just continue to work hard and she would get the ball to finish.
Parker now with 7 points. First point since the first quarter for Candace Parker. Another turnover from Connecticut. There's 2 more from Parker. And a timeout taken by Connecticut. Chicago hops back in front by 1.
We've had this connection a few times this season. Courtney Vandersloot, patience, patience, then deliver it right on the money.
ESPN's coverage of the WNBA playoffs, presented by Google, is brought to you by AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, and secure.
Candace Parker shocked the WNBA this offseason when after 13 years in LA and a championship, she signed with the Chicago Sky. She talked about wanting to come home to Naperville, her hometown, and here she is representing Chicago on the biggest stage. People have been ecstatic in that city. Every major league team welcoming her home, but guys, it's not coming without a price. She has been really working hard tonight. I know that double overtime game took its toll on Candace, and she is really fighting through it right now. That is Chicago proud.
Candace Parker with back-to-back buckets to put Chicago in front in this third as Bonner finishes, and Copper wanted an offensive foul. Looked like Bonner had maybe caught Copper with an elbow. Copper then had an animated discussion with Billy Smith, who I like gave her a nice bit of leeway there without issuing any kind of tee. Here's Vandersloot cutting inside, couldn't finish it, knocked out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Chicago.
I think her left elbow on her way up got Copper in the mouth, and that's what she was talking about with the official.
That was Connecticut's first field goal of the third. They started at 0 for 4 with 3 turnovers. And Alyssa Thomas into the game to try and bring that energy she brought in the first half. Here is Copper hopping in, couldn't finish it, got it back. Oh, what a fake from Copper, and she draws the foul.
She's had really nice bounce. Really nice bounce so far in this game. And we talked about it, how good she is when she can take you off the bounce. Once the ball's been reversed to the other side of the floor, she will attack the defense. And great job there on the offensive boards.
Copper's the leading scorer for the Sky this season. This is the first. Hey, let's take a look at the upcoming WNBA playoff schedule. Next up on ESPN2, Phoenix at Las Vegas. Game 2 with the Aces a 1-0 series lead. Then Sunday, both game 3s on ESPN. It's Connecticut, Chicago, 1 Eastern, ABC, Vegas, Phoenix, 3 Eastern. For more on these games, please go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app.
I'm going to stick to, I think it's games 3.
You know what? You keep saying that.
Okay, I will.
See how people treat you in these streets when you start using that phrase. Bonner, too strong on the 3. Here comes Vandersloot. Tie game at 49. Vandersloot finds Stevens for the finish. 5th Vandersloot assist now tonight.
A great job by Azrae Stevens running the floor, and that kept Jonquel Jones occupied until the last minute when she had to go over onto Sloot.
January able to dig that one up. Here's Jonquel Jones, jumper, no. Jonquel Jones still has not scored in this game. This is the MVP. Player averages 19.5 points per game. 0 for 5 from the floor. Copper, the pull-up, off the mark. You do wonder, too, down the stretch of this game, will we see any fatigue from Chicago after the double OT and 4th game in 8 days? And a foul here is going to go against Alyssa Thomas.
So now Courtney Vandersloot has taken a charge on Jonquel Jones, and then one of the more bruising forwards in the W on Alyssa Thomas. Just toughness. Once again, toughness by Sloot.
All it takes is taking a charge on Bree Jones. She has the full bingo card there.
Probably the full treatment in the training room as well.
Yeah, she's going to enjoy that extra day off between games 2 and 3. Quigley from 15, no. Saw it the whole way, followed it up, and puts it in. So after Connecticut led by 6 at the half, it's a 4-point lead now. Make it 2 as Jones finally on the board. Jonquel Jones with her first field goal of the game.
And that's her first easy look, Ryan. Her first easy look, because Azrae Stevens had to come over and help.
Vandersloot hands the jumper.
You notice as they run down the floor, Azrae Stevens, one of the rare players in the WNBA who can match up with similar physical attributes to Jonquel. 6'6", long arms, mobile.
Shot clock down to 5. Heidemann had it poked away, and a foul against Chicago with 2 on the shot clock. I believe it'll be Parker and her 3rd. Nope, it'll be Copper and her 1st. An 11-4 stretch from Chicago. They have a 4-point lead. They have a 1-0 series lead in this best-of-5 semis. Alyssa Thomas trying to find space. Couldn't finish. Got it back. Can't put it in. Charles battling for it. Kyla Charles tees up Heidemann into Alyssa Thomas. That time she does finish.
That was nice battle and nice fight by both Alyssa Thomas and Kyla Charles.
Second field goal of the game for Thomas. She should 2 of 8 from the floor. Vandersloot with that perfect set shot.
Yeah, and Letitia Heidemann went behind the screen, and especially when it's a Steph Dolson screen, that's a lot of space. And Sloot will make you pay.
Stephanie Dolson told us before the game, screening's her favorite thing to do. Wow, outstanding delivery from AT to Jonquel for two. Here's Vandersloot, cutting through the lane, dropped it off for Stevens, rejected by Charles.
When you look out on the court, there's a lot of tired-looking players, understandably. Double overtime game just 2 days ago, but you notice it, you know, the looks on their face and just trying to catch their wind.
Copper on the move to the hoop, lost it. Alyssa Thomas there. Here comes Heidemann. Jonquel guarded by Stevens. Backing into her, difficult shot and didn't have a chance.
There was no weak side cutting once Jonquel got the ball.
The Shields the drop off, and Stevens the finish. Azurá Stevens in double figures.
She's been stellar. She's been stellar on the offensive end, and she's done her job well defensively.
James Wade told us he looks at his rotation of bigs like an offensive line. January misfires, he needs them all and trusts them all. And we've seen that already in these playoffs and in this series. Nice look from DeShields out to Copper, poke away by January. And it'll stay here with the Sky. A 2-for-1 opportunity still out there. DeShields the cut, just couldn't finish. Nice play there with Vandersloot and DeShields. About an 8-second difference, game and shot clock. Heidemann alone, got it! A three from the corner for the deadly Natisha Heidemann. Shot clock turned off. Vandersloot lost her footing. Able to get it away to Copper. Stevens in the corner. No, and that'll do it for the third. After double OT in game one, a 1-point Chicago lead headed to the fourth quarter of game two.
It's going to come down to the superstars. One of them for Chicago, Courtney Vandersloot's playing strong. And then this one, JJ, coming alive.
Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the WNBA playoffs presented by Google. Here with Jasmine Thomas, and it's your birthday. And boy, are you balling out right now. What is so different about this game versus last? You have really found a rhythm.
Just being aggressive and staying confident. We're doing a lot of good things. I think everybody's locked in better this game, trying to be more physical and more aggressive. But we still can't be satisfied with being close. We got to separate at some point.
After a double overtime game, how clear is it to you that there's some fatigue and that you're really going to have to fight through that here in the fourth quarter?
For sure there's going to be fatigue on both sides, but it's a toughness game. You know, who wants it more, who's going to play harder, who's going to go for loose balls and really make tough plays.
Thank you so much.
One thing to keep note of is this pace has been to Connecticut's liking. They want a slower paced game. Chicago really wants to push it.
That's going to be a jump ball. Parker got in there, held up Charles. But one of the things that Kurt Miller emphasized to us before the start of game one was holding Chicago under 80. All but one of their wins this season, they have scored at least 80 points. And he really wanted to drive home that that's going to be the key to this series, with Connecticut's defense being its calling card. Chicago surpassed 80 in game one, a double overtime win. And tonight, well, probably if Connecticut's going to win, Chicago won't get to 80. Charles, baseline jumper, no. Jonquel Jones, the offensive rebound. Setting up January, you bet, on a three to put Connecticut back in front.
I was listening to everything you were saying, but it made me miss what the jump ball song was, Ryan.
Oh, here I am distracting you again.
A reason to watch it back.
Parker. Over to DeShields. She can't hit the three. Crisscross jump was the song.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, right, Holly? All right.
I paid attention for you. I wanted to keep you updated on that.
That's why we're a team. Charles around the Jonquel screen. Kyla Charles a little out of control there. Push to the corner. Dolson flags it down. Bodies hit the floor.
Needless to say, this has been a physical basketball game. Both ends.
A little crowded on the left side of the floor with DeShields and Evans. Shot clock fading. Parker gets back to it. Quigley will hoist. No. Offensive board. DeShields missed the layup.
She's had a couple of those that have gone around the rim and out.
2 of 8 from the floor now is DeShields. Alyssa Thomas bodying into Dolson, fading away and hooking it home. Azurá Stevens on the bench right now for Chicago, getting a breather. She has had by far and away the best plus-minus tonight, a plus 18 Chicago is with Stevens on the floor. Vandersloot also getting some rest at the beginning of the fourth. Shot clock all the way down to 2. Evans gets rejected. A shot clock violation. And Connecticut a 4-point lead in the basketball. Strong start to the fourth. 8-0 run going back to the end of the third.
It's been so interesting to see how the chess match plays out and how adjustments are made. And game one, the best big player on the floor was Brianna Jones. Here in game two, she spent a lot of time on the bench because Alyssa Thomas playing so well.
Well, guys, Connecticut was the top defensive team in the WNBA all season long, and they were embarrassed that they gave up 100 points, over 100 points in that double overtime loss. They said they will get back to being who they are defensively, and those last 2 possessions for them on defense, they've shown that's who they are. Congesting, smothering. They are making it so hard for Chicago right now, and that's who the Sun have been all season long.
And now also, Holly, Alyssa Thomas starting to find her touch a little bit. As Dolson can't finish. Rebound AT. Here comes Connecticut, a 6-point lead, a 10-0 run. Azurá Stevens now dashes to the scorer's table to get back in for the Sky. Heidemann, 5 to shoot. 3 to shoot. Heidemann gets it to Alyssa Thomas. Did not get it off in time as Connecticut turns it over. And Kurt Miller telling us, Steve, come on, we got to go. We got to get into our stuff quicker.
I thought Jonquel Jones should have held her seal 1 second longer because she had Stephanie Dolson on her back. She fought, didn't get the ball. If she had held it 1 second longer, I think they would have found her.
Holding the seal, always good advice. Vandersloot over to Quigley. Off on a 3. Jonquel Jones, the strong side rebound. Chicago has missed 9 of its last 10 shots. Alyssa Thomas, the spin, just sort of hooked it left as she went to lay it in. Quigley wrapping around from 17, left it short. Alyssa Thomas the rebound. Quigley now 3 for 9. And Chicago shot nearly 50% in game 1, shooting an even 40 here in game 2. Oh, nice find. January to Jonquel. Wanted a whistle, did not get it. It'll stay with Connecticut. Timeout on the floor. 5:39 to go in the fourth. Strong start to the quarter for the Sun, trying to even up this series at a game apiece. They lead by 6.
ESPN's coverage of the WNBA playoffs is presented by Google, official WNBA changemaker and proud advocate of women in sports.
It is time for Anything is Possible, brought to you by Deloitte. Rebecca, great start to the fourth for Connecticut.
Yeah, they've settled in offensively and doing a nice job with their ball movement. Atisha Heidemann has been terrific coming in off the bench. Brianna January much better offensively in game 2 than in game 1. And Alyssa Thomas, a huge impact as well off the bench.
A 7-0 start to the fourth quarter for Connecticut. Chicago 0 for 7 from the floor in this fourth, Holly Rowe.
Well, there's a reason for that. They are at their best when they are running the floor and in transition. Their coach, James Wade, just asked them in the huddle to pick up their pace. We're running things too slow. This is what they want us to do, not what we want to do. They cannot score in the half court with this clampdown defense of Connecticut. They've got to pick up their pace.
And one of the reasons, Holly, when Connecticut scores, it gives them time to set up their defense.
And Alyssa Thomas does so again. 9 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists for Alyssa Thomas. Just her 4th game back after returning from Achilles surgery. Ali documented it earlier, but in case you're just joining us, Alyssa Thomas had surgery on her Achilles in January. And here she is, a big factor, 4th game back in game 2 of this semifinal series.
And when she's at her best, she can bully her way to the basket. And the thing that's taken a little bit of time, she can still get there. It's been finishing and her touch. And it seems like she's starting to find it here in game 2.
Kurt Miller talked about the minutes being pushed up a lot for Thomas as Copper hits a much-needed 3 for Chicago.
She continues to have an answer for them when they really need it.
5-point Connecticut lead. Under 5 minutes to go, Chicago leading the series 1-0. Brianna Jones gets fouled by Parker, her 3rd. And Bree Jones will shoot 2. Connecticut will try and end its free throw woes, just 8 of 14 from the line tonight. A reminder, Mercury Aces coming up next. Game 2 of that series. Las Vegas a 1-0 series edge. These free throws are presented by YouTube TV. Watch live TV, no cable box required. Scan the QR code now to try it free for 2 weeks.
Keep it up there. People like me need that QR code to stay up there for a little while.
It's a hardy length. Jones missed the second. Another free throw miss. 6-point Connecticut lead. Vandersloot being hawked by January. Will fire. No. Rebound tipped into the arms of Brianna Jones. Meanwhile, John Quell Jones on the bench right now for Connecticut. She's played just 24 minutes tonight. Bonner given some space, then got smothered by Stevens. 5 to shoot. January sees the clock, and they're going to say, hold on a second. That got on the rim and should have been reset, and now the officials will stop play to do so.
The last drive by Dewana Bonner, when she went up for the shot, she was looking more for the foul than she was to finish. I think she would be better off just going straight up, trying to get the bucket.
To shoot. Jasmine Thomas goes to Bonner, a 3. It's good! Big money bucket from Bonner. A 9-point Connecticut lead. Parker on the attack, lays it in, plus the foul. A chance for 3 for CP3.
Candace slow to get up. It looked to me that Brianna Jones clearly outside of the restricted area, had her feet set.
It could have been a charge.
I think so. Kansas, I like that she's in attack mode. I mean, Brianna, do you think she undercuts her?
She might have slid. Candace might have already started her upward motion when Jones slid under her. As Parker completes the three-point play and will check on her gait after coming up a little limp. 6-point Connecticut lead, 3:40 to go in the fourth. Alyssa Thomas finds Brianna Jones for the finish. 11, 8, and 5 for Alyssa Thomas after her 5th assist. Vandersloot off on a three. DeShields got up there again. Boy, she has been leaping on the glass.
Yeah, tremendous ups, and she continues to attack.
Jasmine Thomas told Holly we need to get separation. Connecticut's been able to do that here in this fourth, an 8-point lead. Alyssa Thomas looked off the initial pass. Three to shoot. Jasmine had to force it up, got it back, nearly put it in. Alyssa Thomas does on the follow. AT making her impact felt. Timeout Chicago. It's a 10-point Sun cushion.
The Connecticut Sun are having an impact here in the fourth quarter with their aggressiveness, in particular on the offensive glass, led by that woman, AT.
Well, Sunday WNBA playoff semifinals game 3s, Sun Sky, 1 Eastern on ESPN, then Aces Mercury, 3 Eastern on ABC, both games on ESPN Deportes, and the ESPN app, one tap. Connecticut is taking a 10-point lead here in the fourth. Holly Rowe, thanks in large part to Alyssa Thomas.
Well, I'm sure Chicago Sky fans at home are thinking, oh no, it's that woman again. Alyssa Thomas knocked Chicago out of the playoffs last year. The 26-13 rebounds, 26.13 rebound performance. And now coming off Achilles surgery, we didn't think she'd be this impactful, but here she is again, making her presence felt. And guys, I have to tell you, she has got to have the highest pain tolerance of any human possible, famously dislocating her shoulder last year in the playoffs, coming back to play, and here she is just 9 months off Achilles surgery, again making her name known in the playoffs.
And Holly, it wasn't just a tremendous performance by Alyssa Thomas, it was a performance by the Connecticut Sun on the glass.
Thomas gets fouled there and will shoot two.
It was one of the reasons they won that game a year ago. And they've been phenomenal in the fourth quarter. 10 second chance points for Connecticut in the fourth quarter alone.
They had 17 offensive rebounds and 23 second chance points in that game in which they eliminated Chicago a season ago. And you know, when we talked to James Wade, we talked to Courtney Vandersloot, the first thing they mentioned about this series and a key for Chicago was rebounding and keeping Connecticut off the offensive glass. You just gave the numbers for the fourth quarter, Rebecca. They have not been able to keep the Sun off the offensive glass here in the fourth. As a result, what was a 1-point Connecticut deficit heading into the fourth is now an 11-point Sun lead. And Rebecca, Alyssa Thomas has also given Connecticut the ability to have this lead despite Jonquel Jones struggling mightily. The MVP is on the bench down the stretch of this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Alyssa Thomas has brought so much energy, both ends of the floor. She can handle defending Candace Parker.
Copper gets it blocked by Bonner. Here comes Thomas. Touchdown, Connecticut. Big grin from Alyssa Thomas, and an 8-0 Sun run to beef up the cushion here in the fourth.
How gratifying this moment has to be right now for Alyssa Thomas. You know, as Holly's documented how hard she's worked to come back, and then to know she's not going to be starting, because this Connecticut Sun starting group has done such a great job this year to come in off the bench, and in particular in this game to have an impact similar to the one she had pre-injury.
And you know what else? As Chicago empties their bench here, Rebecca, I watched last huddle. Jonquel Jones, one of the first ones to sprint to her team and celebrate what they've done here, even though it has not been the MVP's night. And there have not been many nights where she's on the bench in key moments the way she has been today. With this Sun team going to some different places to even this series up.
I mean, Jonquel Jones is certainly a quiet night, but her presence on the bench is as much as, if not more, about Alyssa Thomas's performance on the floor as it is about Jonquel having her struggles.
A 21-6 edge in the fourth quarter for Connecticut. You hear the ovation for Alyssa Thomas. 15 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists in 24 minutes in just her fourth game, returning from Achilles surgery. in just a 9-month rehab. Mom Premier can't squeeze it in. 14-point Connecticut edge. Dolson, no on the three. Bonner the rebound. Think about Kurt Miller in this game too, Rebecca. The decisions he made, going to his bench when he needed to. They have bared big-time fruit. Coming up next, Asia Wilson, the 2020 MVP, trying to take a 2-0 lead in her semifinal series. Phoenix and Vegas up next. Alyssa Thomas, just a remarkable performance tonight. Changed the tenor of this game with her energy and activity here in the second half. 15 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, and a secure 14-point Connecticut lead. Reminder, the Mercury and Aces coming up next here. Pam, LaChina, and Roz will have that game for you. Premier drops it out of bounds. It's all cosmetic at this point. Chicago got off to an 11-0 lead in this game. Connecticut fought back, only to see the Sky jump back in front after 3 quarters. But this fourth, it has been all Sun as Brown hits the 3. The Sun can dribble this one out. These WNBA semifinals are tied at a game apiece. The Connecticut Sun respond in a big way in the 4th quarter of Game 2. A 79-68 Sun victory. (21-9). Connecticut locks down Chicago in the 4th quarter of Game 2.
A team that relied heavily on its starters all season long. The only team in the league that 5 players averaged 30 or more minutes. And it was the bench contribution that made the difference for the Sun, in particular, Alyssa Thomas.
And Alyssa Thomas is with Holly Rowe.
Well, Alyssa, you told me the other day you're at your best in the playoffs. When you entered this 4th quarter, how did you lift your team to this win with 10 points in that quarter?
You know, it's just about protecting our home court. You know, we didn't come out and perform last game. We had slow starts today, and my job all year is just to bring energy in, and that was my goal today.
You're just 9 months removed from Achilles surgery. You were on crutches for almost 4 months. How are you playing basketball right now?
It's amazing. You know, you appreciate things like this. To go through something like that, anybody that's been through that injury just knows how tough it is. And, you know, I just got to appreciate each and every game. And today, I just got to take this one in.
On a night where you mentioned it, your team started slow. Coach went with the bench. How did he have the trust in that group in that moment to really come in and hold it down?
They've been doing it all season. We've been preparing them for this moment. You know, and practice is just about instilling confidence in them. And today, they came and did their job and picked up when starters were having a tough night.
Thank you so much. I think playoff AT is back. Is it safe to say?
Yes, for sure. Thank you.
We definitely saw playoff AT tonight. 15 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. And Connecticut evens this best-of-5 semifinal series up with Chicago at a game apiece. Coming up next, WNBA playoffs on ESPN2 continue with the Mercury and the Aces Game 2. Las Vegas a 1-0 series edge. For our producer, Lori Privatera, our director, Ken Dennis, Holly Rowe, and the Hall of Famer, Rebecca Lobo, I'm Ryan Rucco. We'll send you to the studio to Renee, Monica, and Carolyn after these messages.